A range in Samplitude is a selection across the timeline. We can then use that range to apply it to a track, to all tracks, to cut, copy, that type of thing, to get rid of data or to copy data to other places. It's also possible to loop our project. If you want to look for specific things, you can flip it left and right. So there's many options. So let's take a look at what we do with Samplitude Access. Okay, so I'm in the VIP.
Location, VIP window.
And before we get started, two things to note. At the moment, when I'm going to use some of these keystrokes, the information about the range will not be spoken. I can query that range with another keystroke. If you want automatic reading of that information, you can do that in the verbosity with JAWS key and V. So if that's how you want it, you can do that in there. Also, with a fair set of keystrokes I'm going to show you, these are set by your transport amount. I have my transport set to 1 bar at the moment, so whenever I use these keystrokes, it will be drawing a range and extending or reducing the range by 1 bar. You can obviously change your transport to beats, and you can mix these up and use whatever options you want. But for this example, let's just use 1 bar. Okay, so I've got a project loaded. I'm going to press shift and right arrow once. Okay, that's drawn me a 1 bar range. I can query that with F11 or JAWS key and end twice on the numpad.
Start bar 1 beat 1 tick 0, end bar 2 beat 1 tick 0, length 1 measure 0 ticks.
So we have a 1 bar range. It tells us the beginning, the end, and the actual size. If I now press shift and right arrow another 7 times and query that,
start bar 1 beat 1 tick 0, end bar 9 beat 1 tick 0, length 8 measure 0 ticks.
We've got an 8 bar range. Okay, to reduce that range, we press shift and left arrow. So I've done that 7 times, query that.
Start bar 1 beat 1 tick 0, end bar 2 beat 1 tick 0, length 1 measure 0 ticks.
And we're back down to 1 bar. Okay, to clear a range, we press Alt, Shift and Backspace.
Range removed.
So that's removed. Okay. The next set of keystrokes are to set a specific amount. So Control 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 5 on the numbers row will set a specific amount. So Control and 1 for 1 beat, 2 for 2 beats, 3 for 4 beats, 4 for 8 and 5 for 16. So I'm going to press Control and 1 now.
Range set to 1 beat.
We'll query that.
Start bar 1 beat 1 tick 0, end bar 1 beat 2 tick 0, length 1 beat 0 ticks.
So we've got a 1 beat range. If I turn loop on now with Control, Shift and L.
Loop on. 1 piano strings.
If I play that now, that 1 beat will loop. Okay. While we've got it playing, it is possible to extend ranges and change them to different values. So let's try that. I'll play the audio and I'll change it to 2 beats.
Range set to 2 beats.
I'll change it back to 1 beat.
Range set to 1 beat.
Okay. Also, a nice little feature is that you can flip that range, which means it moves it left or right. So to do that, we use Control, Alt, Shift and the page up and page down. So I'll play the audio again and I will flip it to the right a couple of times, then flip it back to the left.
Range flipped right. Range flipped right. Range flipped right. Range flipped right. Range flipped left. Range flipped left. Range flipped left. Range flipped left.
Okay, so that is really useful. Let's clear the range with Alt, Shift and Backspace.
Range removed.
The other way we can do a range is by pressing Control and 9 to set the beginning and Control and 0 to set the end. This is a Samplitude Access script that does this, so let's try that.
Bar 1 beat 1 tick 0.
I'll go to the beginning, I press Control and 9.
Range start from bar 1 beat 1 tick 0. Now, to set the through position, move the playback marker to the desired position and press Control plus 0.
I'll go to bar 2.
Bar 2 beat 1 tick 0.
And press Control and 0.
Setting the range end. 1 piano strings. Range. Start bar 1 beat 1 tick 0. End bar 2 beat 1 tick 0. Length 1 measure 0 ticks.
Okay, so we've got a 1 bar again. Let's loop it. Let's go to the beginning.
Bar 1 beat 1 tick 0.
Okay, and another thing to note, as I just did there, is that if we are beyond the range, so if I go to bar 3,
bar 2 beat 1 tick 0, bar 3 beat 1 tick 0,
then obviously it will not loop because we are beyond the range which goes from 1 to 2. Okay, so what happens
bar 1 beat 1 tick 0,
is that the playback starts, it reaches the end of the range and goes back to the beginning of the range. So that's how it loops. So let's clear that.
range removed,
So finally, let's delete some data using these methods. So the first method I'm going to use is just, let's just delete a beat from bar 3 across all of the tracks in this project. So I'll go to bar 3.
bar 2 beat 1 tick 0, bar 3 beat 1 tick 0,
Before I do this, I'll just turn loop off.
loop off, 1 piano
Okay.
strings,
So I'm at bar 3.
track, 1 piano strings, bar 3 beat 1 tick 0,
And I'll press Ctrl and 1 to set a 1 beat range.
range sets to 1 beat,
Okay, then we can press Ctrl Windows F11 to set it to the track, or Ctrl Windows F12 to set it to all tracks. Alternatively, we could use semicolon for the track or Control semicolon for all tracks. So I'll do that now.
range sets to all tracks, start bar 3 beat 1 tick 0, end bar 3 beat 2 tick 0, length 1 beat 0 ticks,
Okay, and then I'm just going to press delete.
deleted,
Go to the beginning of the project.
bar 1 beat 1 tick 0,
Let's just clear the range
range removed,
and then press play. Okay, so we'll listen to that
bar 1
again.
beat,
So the data has been deleted. So we could do that on one track if necessary, but we did it on all of the tracks. To finish off, let's try the selection method. So I'm going to go to the
bar 1
beginning.
beat 1 tick 0,
I'm going to press Ctrl and 9.
range start from, bar 1 beat 1 tick 0, now, to set the through position, move the playback marker to the design, bar 2 beat 1 tick 0, bar 3 beat 1 tick 0, bar 4 beat 1 tick 0,
And I'm going to go to bar 4 and I'm going to press Ctrl and 0.
setting the range end, 1 piano strings, range, start bar 1 beat 1 tick 0, end bar 4 beat 1 tick 0, length 3 measure 0 ticks,
I'll assign it to all tracks with Ctrl Windows F12.
range sets to all tracks, start bar 1 beat 1 tick 0, end bar 4 beat 1 tick 0, length 3 measure 0 ticks,
And again, we could use Ctrl semicolon there and I'll press delete.
deleted,
I'll clear the range, Alt, Shift and Backspace.
range removed,
Go to the beginning.
bar 1 beat 1 tick 0,
And we'll start playback and we won't hear anything until the very end. Okay, so it's playing at the moment and it should come in at bar 4. There we go. So that's how we use ranges in Samplitude.